22nd.
Oh, look.
It's me.
It's you.
All right.
Wow. Look at that.
Handsome.
Liam got on the video. We got Liam a nice little camera so we can watch what he's doing when we need to watch. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gloves Off with David Singer. Today is September 22nd?
Yes.
22nd. And we're going to be talking about various things going on in the Village of Palmetto Bay. Once again, you see me all alone. I will probably be all alone next week, too, because we have so much to discuss about the Village of Palmetto Bay, and I don't want to drag anybody else in here really to do it. Maybe Gene.
Do you want to read the disclaimer?
Oh, yeah, I got to read the disclaimer. Thank you for reminding me. Absolutely. We'll invite Gene Flynn in the next couple of weeks so he can give me his thoughts of what's going on in Palmetto Bay. The opinions of the host, guest, and any callers and anyone who comments are not representative of the opinion of Mr. Singer's employer or anyone associated with Gloves Off. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate it. This is going to be all about Palmetto Bay, and we're going to break this down into various quarters of the hour. The first one is we're going to go through Karyn's contribution list and all the PAC money she's been receiving. And believe me, there's a lot. Karyn Cunningham is receiving a lot of dark money. I mean, she's not only receiving money from PACs, she's receiving money from lobbyists. She's also receiving money from unions. It's amazing how much money she's gotten from unions, which would basically make sense since she's a union representative. So if you are a Republican and you don't like unions, you'd be very surprised on how much money she's getting from the various unions. So we're going to go through Karyn's contributions. We're going to go through some videos where she's been caught lying and not telling the truth. Then we're going to look at a rap sheet of a person who's running for the Village of Palmetto Bay mayor, and we'll discuss his rap sheet. And then finally, we'll discuss the budget. And next week, we're going to really get into the budget again, and we're going to compare Village of Palmetto Bay's budget, which is 66 employees, compared to the town of Cutler Bay, which has 31 employees and is basically twice the size. Can you imagine? 31 employees for the town of Cutler Bay and 66 employees for the Village of Palmetto Bay. If you're talking about big government, Palmetto Bay's got one. That's right. Palmetto Bay's using your tax dollars to fund a huge government that we don't really need and does not help anybody with the quality of life in Palmetto Bay. So let's jump right into it. I got in my hand Karyn Cunningham's contributions. Went through them, and let me see. The last page is interesting because the last page tells it all, right?
Oh, wait. Before we begin,
before
to tell the audience that they could put.
Yeah. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email like Renee has. Thank you. Renee is a loyal listener and will be on my show at some point in October or early November. Anyway, so these are just big donors that equal $35,000 of the $63,000 she's collected. Do the math on who is being influenced by outside influences, lobbyists, PACs, unions, and certain special individuals in our city community who want to get favors from Mayor Cunningham. It's absolutely amazing. So the first one, and I'm going to go one by one, is a PAC, which is a union, which is $1,000. The union's PCIVOE, I think, and it is a union. The second one is a friend of Karyn's, Julie Lavoie. She sent in $500. She's in the real estate industry. Janet Selznick, which sent in $500, and she is, I believe, the wife of the ex-mayor of Coral Gables. By the way, the amount of developer money that she's received is absolutely astonishing. She's in the pocket of every single developer in Palmetto Bay. That's why she's basically voted for every single development, but we'll get to that in a little while so we can discuss all the development. Don Waters, which I'm surprised he's actually a supporter of Karyn Cunningham since he's a right-wing Republican. But I guess loyalty knows no bounds, especially when he's a developer in the village. Bill Gnier, he came out from out of state, $500. there's one that's interesting. It's Business L Car Wash, which basically got a proof that car wash off US 1, and it was improperly zoned. If you look at the village, if you look at the sign of the car wash, I actually complained about that sign, but they let it go through anyway. The sign's way too close to the road, and the setback isn't correct. They actually gave her $1,000. Teachers for Public School Excellence, a union, gave her $1,000. A union and a PAC, by the way. United Teachers of Dade Tiger Cope Inc. gave her $1,000. That's another PAC. And another union. Another PAC, Teachers of United Dade Cope North, another PAC. They gave her $1,000. By the way, she's gotten so much PAC money. PAC and union money. It's like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 50% of what she's collected.
What page of the budget is this?
Oh, this is page 2. You're okay. Yeah, you're on business of car wash. Okay, so 11, like I said, she's got union teachers. And by the way, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm actually showing this on screen right now and talking about it because this is real money coming into her. She's got so much dark money coming into her. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, you think that she was running for the U.S. Congress, the Senate, or the House, or the presidency with the amount of PAC money and the amount of and unions and PAC money that's come in and developer money coming in. Okay, so teachers, United Teachers of Dade, Cope South, $1,000. Contractor Michael Lewinsky or something, he gave $200. Another Michael Lewinsky gave another $200. Sean Lilly Roofing Company, $1,000. I guess they won't be able to do any work in the village of Palmetto Bay because once you give money to a candidate, you cannot do any work with the village of Palmetto Bay for a couple of years, I think. Okay, so there's a lobbyist apparently under investigation, according to Political Quarantino or whatever. Steve Martin gave her $1,000. Apparently this is what the note I got, lobbyist under investigation. This is why she wants to Karyn Cunningham wants to basically cut any kind of investigations for lobbyists in the village of Palmetto Bay, which she brought up in the COW meeting the other day. Also, she wants to cut out lobbyist fees. She wants to cut them in half. So I guess some of the lobbyists are in her pocket too. Steve Martin, I don't know what he's investigating for. A couple of other payments she's received is insurance from insurance companies. You notice how insurance is going through the roof in Palmetto Bay and the rest of South Florida, and she has not come out against the increase, okay, in any kind of insurance premiums, and nobody can afford premiums anymore. I've heard of some people going from like $12,000 to $30,000. A good friend of mine just got an insurance bill for his house for $35,000 on his house, and what he was paying the previous year was around 15 or 16. So she hasn't said, she's been silent on all kinds of insurance increases. That's because she's getting a lot of money from insurance companies. 1, 2, 4. So far, I think I've counted $2,000 or $3,000 from insurance companies. Another $100 from an insurance company. Here's another PAC. It's called Right Futures for Florida. It's a far right wing PAC, which is interesting because Karyn Cunningham's a Democrat. They got $1,000. This PAC also gave money to Patrick Ferrori. I can never pronounce his last name. He's running for district. He's running for District 1. This is a far right wing PAC that's sending money to Karyn Cunningham and Patrick. Here's some interesting stuff. John Dubois has given her so much money. I wish he'd cut the checks to me. He's an investor in the holding in a medical building. The medical building that has no parking off 168th Street. He gave her $1,000. Here's one that's really interesting. She received $5,000 from one family. Okay, Callister family. She got $5,000. And what's really interesting is their son was arrested for alleged rape, and which was reduced to a lesser charge. And he actually had a fundraiser at John Dubois' house where I contributed $500. If he can afford to give Karyn Cunningham $5,000, I want my $500 back for contributing to legal fees for your son, because that really sucks that you can give $5,000 to Karyn Cunningham, and you took a lot of money from a lot of people at the fundraiser at John Dubois' house. Here's another PAC. I think I'm on 28.
28.
Well, it says 28. IBEW PAC Voluntary Fund. That's another union.
No, that's 26.
No, it says 28 on mine.
Well, it says 26.
Okay, whatever. Okay, we'll just some Florida painting and construction, which she got $1,000 for. That's a contractor. Let's see. She got a lot of money from out of state, boys and girls. A lot of money. Here's another real estate company that gave her money, $1,000. Mike Stake gave her a lot of money. Property management company, Neil Asick, Express Properties LLC, out of Coral Gables, gave her $1,000. Neil gave her $1,000. They're all, they all have, I guess they want to do some property management in the village of Palmetto Bay. Advocacy Group, which is a substance abuse group. Maybe I got some friends that probably need to go there. They're off 1 South Dade. They gave her $500. Here's some more from John Dubois. Indigo Street LLC gave her $1,000. Optical Crime Prevention Inc. gave her $1,000. So I think I've counted $3,000 so far that John's given her. He's the old vice mayor, but he's funding the destruction of Palmetto Bay. Here's one, lobbyist. New Leadership Network PC gave her $1,000. Once again, at the COW last week, she wanted to reduce lobbyist fees that practice in Palmetto Bay. She also wants to make it so if you get caught doing a crime or breaking the law in Palmetto Bay, you don't have to go in front of the ethics board in Dade County, which is ridiculous. She has no control over that.
Oh, wow.
Malibu Pools, Diversified Interest Group, which is a developer. Another partner of John Dubois gave her another $1,000. AlJohn Saldina, whatever. Yeah, how do you pronounce that? You're good with that.
So I actually can't even read it.
You can't? Okay.
On my screen, anyways.
Here's one, People for Accountability, Accountable Government, which is another PAC. So if you go through, literally, if you go through her spending or her donations, 50% of the money she's raised, over 50% of the money she's raised has come from dark money, from PACs, from lobbyists, from unions. You wonder what they all want from her, right? And how it's going to impede on quality of life in the village of Palmetto Bay. It's absolutely amazing that she's collected all this money. And she sits there and she talks about, she literally slammed people for DC politics. This, okay, you can pull that down. This right here is DC politics. This is not mom and pop people giving her $100 here and $100 there. Okay, this is politics. Interesting. They're yelling outside the door. This is politics it should not be coming into play in the village of Palmetto Bay. Once again, it's real estate developers. It's lobbyists. It's PACs. It's unions. It's everything that we don't want in Palmetto Bay. So, I mean, you guys figure out what you want, but I'm telling you right now, this is not mom and pops. These are not neighbors who live in Palmetto Bay that say, hey, Karyn's doing a good job. Let's contribute $100 here, $100 there. These are people that are either trying to push their political agenda or influence what's going on in the village of Palmetto Bay.
And most of those donations were at least $1,000.
Oh yeah, they were all $1,000. We're literally talking about her taking money from people that she should not be taking money from. And what's funny is Gary Pastorelli and Shelley Stanzik wrote, watch out for dark money in their last email. There are a couple of people that live in Palmetto Bay, and they're really friends of Karyn Cunningham. And all the dark money is actually going to Karyn. So maybe they should be careful what they say, okay, in their emails, because the dark money is Karyn Cunningham's. You got those 2 flyers?
Yeah, let me see. Well, check out some of the chat here. We have Renee. Renee is asking if she got any donations from AlJohn Farquharson.
No, Renee, you know that AlJohn is Steve Cody. Once again, you are completely incorrect and a pathological liar. I actually only got $5,000 from my employer and a bunch of different subsidiaries. Thank you very much. By the way, I was gonna talk about Steve Cody today, but I decided not to because the guy's a pathological liar, and basically, I like to call him Crazy Cody. Once again, if I start talking about him, I got to start telling people that he's going to be living in a box in 90 days because this is the guy that's house has been foreclosed on. He's lost his law license. He's had to sit there. He's a convicted criminal. I mean, it's everything you'd want for a politician, to be sitting there representing you, right? I mean, it's crazy. This guy would not know the truth if it smacked him right in the face. Guy's freaking crazy, man. The guy's nuts. The guy needs help. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's whatever. Let's not talk about Cody because it takes away from Karyn Cunningham's, the amount of money Karyn Cunningham has had of a pack. Cody's such a loser. I love it. He's such a loser. Okay. Developer money. That's right, Cody. Developer money. Karyn's got enough of it. Not only that, but union money, PAC money. She's flying, baby. She's flying. So pull up those pictures.
All right. Let's see here. We've got here.
You got pictures? Yeah, that's one. Can you find it?
That's the one. Here, I found it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So this is the deal. This is a flyer I got in the mail. Did not design the flyer. Okay. But when you're talking about Karyn Cunningham, okay, you're talking about a woman who's never voted against the development in Palmetto Bay. That's why she's getting so much development money. You can see on the flyer. Can you read off some of those properties she's voted for?
Sure. The Indigo at Palmetto Bay.
Okay.
LLC.
Yep.
Approved February 28th of 2022. Then you have Franjo Medical Center.
That's the one with no parking.
Yeah,
okay.
With no parking.
Yep.
Approved on January of 2020. South Day Development on 18,300 Southwest 98th Avenue. That was approved on November 18th of 2019. And then you have Parkview, which was approved on June 19th of 2017. Okay.
Along with those, okay, I think two others. So honestly, it's absolutely amazing that she says she's not siding with developers when she's taking money from developers left and right. Okay. And she's actually, I think, history is pretty clear that all she does is vote for development in Palmetto Bay. So if you're anti-development, she is not the one to vote for. I mean, she has never voted against the development in Palmetto Bay that I'm aware of. And that was just four. And I think there's two other ones. And and you can tell by the money she's taking. You can tell by the money she's taking that she's hold on. Oh, here we go. Somebody just texted me, actually. You want to pull up the other flyer on who's actually endorsed?
Sure.
Karyn Cunningham?
Absolutely.
This is even better. Okay, so we got Steve Cody, who's basically a councilman well, I guess he's a councilman for now until he gets evicted from his house in 90 days. He's basically lost his law license, okay? Basically, I guess, is a criminal, right? I think we all know he's a criminal. That's somebody I really want to be endorsed by, Steve Cody, right? Seriously, you want somebody who's been convicted? Oh, and he owes the Village of Palmetto Bay $5,000, which he's never paid. He owes the IRS like $300,000. It's absolutely amazing how much money Steve Cody owes people. And when his house is foreclosed on, he'll not see 1 cent because of the amount of people that he owes money to. Vice Mayor Leanne Tellem. Let's talk about her. Karyn's BFF, right? Karyn got her elected. She's not a very nice lady. A matter of fact, she's probably the meanest council person I've ever seen on the council. It's just amazing. So those are two big winners. Okay. Vance, I happen to like Vance. I'm absolutely shocked that he would actually endorse Karyn. He's a good guy and a very intelligent guy. And Vance and I are going to have to have a serious talk. He probably endorsed Karyn because she endorsed him when he was running. So that would make sense, tit for tat, because he's said other things in person to me that I cannot repeat. The United Teachers of Dade, of course, because she's a lobbyist. She's a lobbyist, so of course, or not. Is she a lobbyist? No, she works for the union, so she could be a lobbyist, right? She works for the union. I don't think she's a lobbyist, but she works for the union, so that doesn't surprise me. United Facility of Miami-Dade County.
Miami-Dade College.
Oh, Miami-Dade College. No idea why they would endorse her. And Save Action Pack. I have no idea what that is. So I would, it's amazing the people that she's putting out that are endorsing her. Her BFF, Liam Tellem, and the scumbag, Steve Cody, who hopefully in the next 90 days, we won't have to ever mention his name again because hopefully he won't be living in Miami-Dade or in the village of Palmetto Bay.
Yeah.
But what? Okay, sorry. People are texting me. And let's look at some of the questions.
Absolutely. So starting off from
you don't have to read Steve's.
Facebook user, are you anti-union?
Am I anti-union? I'm not for or against unions. Actually, if you want to know the truth, that's not true. I think unions work great for teachers, for firemen, for police officers, but when they hold like Eastern unions put Eastern Airlines out of business. So when unions hold owners of businesses hostage, I have a problem with that. But for teachers, for police, for firemen, I think unions are perfect. Let's see what else. Did Mr. C get evicted yet? Soon enough, dude. Soon enough. It's going to be funny. Oh, by the way, I will have pictures of his house and his address I will be talking about next week, so everybody can drive by. So if anybody wants to bid on his house, I'll also be giving out his cell phone number. So if anybody wants to call him and schedule an appointment to see his house, I'll be giving out all that information next week. It should be fun.
Wow.
What is your connection with Jason Blank? I don't even know who Jason Blank is. Rent-a-pack. No connection at all. Cody, who owes more money, Steve Cody or Larry King? I think Larry King owes a lot of money to a lot of people. Neil Rogers used to say Larry King owes. You don't know who Neil Rogers is, but he was a radio host. Neil Rogers used to say on his program all the time, Larry King owes me money.
Wait, is Larry King like having a Nick Cage?
No, I think Larry King passed away. Like he was I think Larry King actually originally started in Miami at the same time Neil Rogers started in Miami, and they had radio shows, and I think Neil Rogers used to lend him money all the time.
Oh, I see.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Now he's dead.
Now, both of them have passed away, unfortunately. I used to okay, so we got through Karyn's contributions. Can we start the videos so we can show how she's lying? I won't be talk. I don't care which one you pull up. I won't be able to talk during the videos, but after the videos play, we'll discuss them for everybody everybody's watching.
All right. So this one.
Anyone. Veterans Park.
And we are going to be acquiring the Veterans Park on September 12th and setting aside $2 million to be able to begin.
And you're concerned the $2 million expenditure isn't part of anything I have anything to do with. But I am telling you that
when we read the caption, I didn't see anyone making any motion to come up. Can you give us your name?
Sure. Eric Olivos, 7700 Southwest 175th. Second time I attended the July 11th session, but was it July 11th? The clinic? I don't know, I was listening to the back and forth, and I've never met you, but eventually and hopefully, I'm in the business world. When I sign a contract, it's got to be black and white. So my only comment is you're moving forward with a hopefully and an eventually. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't sign that contract.
I didn't.
Just a comment.
I didn't.
Okay, we're not going back and forth during comments, but
Okay, so anyway, she said that we were getting Veterans Park. We were buying Veterans Park on September 12th. We're not buying Veterans Park. We've never been able to buy Veterans Park. It's been on the agenda for 4 years. She hasn't done anything while she's been in office for 4 years. We should get Veterans Park because it would be a nice park. As a matter of fact, somebody came up with a great idea the other day. There's the land that we bought, which is across the street from Palmetto Bay Park. It's about 1.5 acres. That would be a great Veterans Park. We wouldn't have to buy another piece of property. South Motors owes Veterans Park right now. We spent a lot of money. We have money in the budget to sit there and maintain a park we don't own. It's absolutely amazing. Literally, you can't make this shit up. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. We sit there every year. We spend, and it's not a lot of money, okay, $5,000 a year, but we maintain a park we don't own, and we don't have any rights to own to it right now. So can you imagine putting that in a budget? She says, oh, we're going to own Veterans Park September 12th. No, September 12th is come and gone. We don't own Veterans Park, and we most likely never will. So she's lying to the veterans. Yeah. Once again, so it's a flat out lie. Okay, that's one lie. Let's play another clip.
It's like a paper trail. Let's see it.
Going to be of great importance to the community is an additional police officer. And
is there an additional police officer in this budget?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so she can't. Okay, so this is a great one. Oh, don't worry about it, people. We're going to hire another police officer because crime has gone skyrocketed. Okay, Scott, first of all, number one is she said there's only an uptick, a little uptick in crime, right? But we're going to hire another police officer for next year's budget. Guess what, folks? The village manager said, no, we're not going to hire another police officer. After she makes that video, okay, and she puts it out all over, she must have, like 10,000 email addresses telling everybody, don't worry about it. I know crime's gone up. We're going to hire another police officer. She turns to the village manager, Nick Morano, who doesn't lie as far as I know. And he goes, no, we're not. We're not going to hire another police officer. We don't have the money for it. Which, by the way, when we talk about budgets, I have a way to pay for another police officer. I actually have a way to pay for 3 more police officers, but the village is too stupid to actually figure it out themselves. So anyway, so she lied about that. So that's 2 strikes, right? Let's play the third video.
This is.
I think there's a small uptick. I know the number has changed just a tiny bit, but that said, it's these guys. I want to say the men in blue, but I'm going to have to say the men in brown because.
Okay, so that's the third one. Crime, we had 10 last month, or was it last month? Last month, there were 10 crimes or 10 additional crimes. It was, I think, battery. I think there was a car theft. I think it was breaking and enterings. Crime has gone sky high in Palmetto Bay. Okay, but it's only an uptick to Karyn Cunningham because she much rather spend money, and we'll talk about this too. She much rather spend money on taking selfies and doing self-promotion than what the residents really want, which is more police officers and to decrease crime, right? So, but it's only a small uptick because it was only 10 more incidences in 1 month, which was assault and battery, car break-ins, and I think home robberies. Okay, so if you think you're safe in Palmetto Bay, you're not safe in Palmetto Bay, and crime is going through the roof. And she can't sit there and fluff it off by saying, "Oh, it was only a small uptick." Okay, that's how crazy she is. She sits there. I don't understand. Can you pull up the chat? I can't understand how she sits there and blatantly lies to the residents. I mean, you just saw 3 examples. 3 examples, and that was just 3 examples that I found. Okay, 3 examples that I found. Veterans Park, which is very important to the veterans, and they deserve a park. Okay, a small upcreep in time, a small upcreep in crime, uptick in crime. And what was the other one? She lies so much I can't remember. Oh, the hiring of the police officers, which was a blatant lie.
And also, like, the small uptick in crime, I feel like she's applying like county level or like state level.
No, she probably a small uptick would be like applying to the United States or the state of Florida, right? What would 10 additional crimes in 1 month. Oh, well, it's a small uptick, right?
What would be a big uptick?
I wonder what would be a big uptick.
Assaults in the last, because that would be crazy for a village of 21,000 people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 26.
It's like 26.
Yeah, 26,000 people here.
26,000 people.
Yeah, but it's a small uptick to her. She does not live in reality. I mean, literally. She does not live in reality at all. Anyway, somebody just wrote, what do you think Flynn would do if he won the election? I don't know. We'll have him on here.
Or what he would do differently.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have him on here and ask him. I mean, I don't like, although some people think I'm BFFs with Flynn, I'm really not. There's sometimes I love the guy and there's sometimes I hate the guy. But, that's just the way it is. But I tell you what, Flynn won't lie like Karyn Cunningham lies. Flynn won't take selfies like Karyn Cunningham takes selfies. Flynn won't blow up our budget like Karyn Cunningham has done. Anyway, okay, so we're halfway through the show. Is Gina around? Gina, are you on the other line? Have you gotten home yet?
Looks like she has just gotten home recently.
Recently gotten home. Gina,
Yeah.
can you take over the rap sheet so I can talk about our friend who's running for mayor, AJ Farquharson?
She's saying that she's getting errors logging into.
She's getting errors.
Yeah.
Okay, don't go away, folks. We'll have to deal with this. Farquharson. Oh my. Can she pull up anything? She's having a hard time, huh? What are we gonna do? Okay, so I'll talk about him. We don't need to.
Wait, about who, Cody?
No, I'm not talking about Cody. Cody's like a loser, and every time I talk about him, it makes me feel like I'm a loser. Matter of fact, every time I talk to him about him, I have to sit there and actually take a shower to get the scum off me. Okay, so let's talk about AJ. So it's come out through research that AJ has quite a number of arrests that go back to 2000, I guess, in 11 and 2012. Okay, so I'm going to go through this, and by the way, all this information can be found on Miami-Dade's website, and it's not really that he's been arrested 10 years ago. It's his attitude towards his arrests that slay me. And first, I'm going to read some of the crimes he was arrested on. Okay, battery aggravated of a pregnant victim. Okay, that was his sister. Felony, 2nd degree. That's the first one. Okay. Second one is battery. Oh, here's another one. Battery, pregnant. Here's a second one. Battery, offense battery. This happened in March 2002. The third record is
battery of a
pregnant woman. Okay, disorderly conduct in 2001. He was reprimanded to a rehab program. I guess because he was drunk. Criminal mischief. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, I think criminal mischief goes with the fact that he was in disorderly intoxication. That's 3. 4 is happened in May of 2001. What is this one? It says no contest. It's 4. It doesn't say what this one is. It says misdemeanor, 2nd degree, but it doesn't say what it is. That's too bad. Okay, so the next one is 5. It says disorderly intoxication, fine. That's a misdemeanor. This is interesting, right? Resisting arrest without violence. I guess that was what it was, right? So that happened. When did that happen? Who knows? Anyway, resisting arrest. The next one is battery, and that happened.
This is already like a very long.
I know. Wait, I think I have 11 of them. It says battery. It just says battery. I mean, I don't know if it's a felony. It says assault. By the way, you can look. Like I said, you can look up all these records on Dade County website. Doesn't say. Okay, here's another one. Still, let's see, 7.
And who is this?
This guy's running for mayor. Okay, here's one record. It says personal watercraft life safety vests. I guess he didn't have any life safety vests on his boat that he was using. That's been closed down. Here's one. Hold on. I think I actually have better records. Hold on. Let's do this the right way. That's individuals. Okay. This starts. This is a summary, right? So 2001, May of 2001, battery, assault, battery, resisting arrest, disorderly intoxication, criminal mischief. Okay, 6 charges in 1 arrest in May of 2001. The next one is resisting without violence, resisting arrest, disorderly intoxication, criminal mischief. That one was 7 through. Wait, hold on. That was filed 6/8 of 2001. Here's another one: battery, aggravated assault, I guess, with a pregnant woman, battery. Wow. You know what? I tell you what, AJ, why don't you come in and discuss all this stuff? I'm going to give you a half an hour. You can sit there and talk about felony and misdemeanor battery. And you can sit there and discuss all these arrests with the resident of Palmetto Bay. You're invited. This one occurred at 4/19/202, 5/22, and these might be repeats. 5/22/01 was battery, assault, battery, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief. Here's one that happened in 96. It's a battery misdemeanor. This guy has a great record. I mean, he would fit up there great with Cody. And as much as these batteries and everything occur, as much as his arrest record drives me nuts, I still vote for him over Karyn Cunningham because at least I know he wouldn't be. He's at least I know if he has turned around, he'd probably be a better mayor. Okay, so anyway, so let's go through. This is what really bothers me, and it's not necessarily the fact that he got in trouble 10 years ago, a little longer. It's his explanations on Facebook, and I wish Gina was there at home so she could pop these up.
She's having a lot of issues trying to log in.
Okay.
So, that's the noise of her trying to.
AlJohn, I'm sorry, it's AlJohn, not AJ. Okay, so anyway, so I popped this up. I popped all this criminal arrest records up on the on Facebook, and what doesn't bother me as much as the arrest records, because you could say, yeah, I was young, I made some mistakes, blah 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 blah. I don't like the fact that he hit a woman. I think that's disgusting. Having two sisters, a pregnant woman is even worse.
Yeah,
he makes excuses for what he did, right? Oh, here we go. He won't come on your show. He claims Planis and you have it out for him. He's going to the forum. He is not going to the forum held by Palmetto Bay Concerned Citizens, Palmetto Bay. Whatever. I'll be at the forum. So anyway, he makes excuses. It says, I never hit anyone. I was far too drunk. This is what's great. Women don't always tell the truth in these circumstances. And this is one of them. So basically, he's saying his sister lied about him hitting her when he's pregnant. I mean, who the hell would sit there and say, women don't always tell the truth?
Well,
there's something wrong with somebody who says that, right?
Yeah. Even if she was lying about it, that's just a key to there's something really dark happening underneath, right?
There's something seriously wrong with that.
Yeah.
Women don't all. So not only does he like to batter women, but he likes to sit there and say women don't always tell the truth in these circumstances.
Gaslight.
Right? Women lie. I'm a man. I know that. Women lie. Oh, there we go. It just popped up. So in case everybody doesn't believe me, I never hit anyone. Women don't always tell the truth. Women don't always tell the truth. Yeah. Women sit there and they lie, okay, about being beat on when they're pregnant. Okay. Then another one was, she's my sibling. Sibling rivalry when a family is destroyed is a heck of a thing. I went to a dark place for a while. Okay. So it's okay to hit a woman as long as it's your sister.
Oh, but if your sister is pregnant,
seriously,
think
about this. AJ or whatever the hell is in AlJohn basically said it's okay to hit a woman as long as it's your sister.
Oh my!
Because it's civil. It's sibling rivalry. That sounds like an excuse that literally Cody would make for having his house in foreclosure. Right? Or losing his law license, because when he was on with Grant Miller, who's his BFF, okay, Grant Miller let him get away with fucking bullshit answers like that. Oh no, the bank's taking advantage of me. Meanwhile, he hasn't paid the bank in 8 years, right? Literally. And I lost my bar license because I was railroaded. It's stupid shit like that Grant Miller sat there and actually accepted from Cody without following up with a question. And you know what? The funny part is Grant Miller had Karyn Cunningham on the show the other day, and he didn't ask her any real questions. He didn't ask her about her affair with a married man who has kids. These are the questions that she should sit there and explain, okay, to the residents of Palmetto Bay. How do you have an affair with a married man who has kids? How do you do that? And then hold yourself out to be, a mayor. I don't get it. And Grant, of course, who I heard was sleeping with her, just let her get away with it.
Yeah, that's not a good example.
I mean, Grant Miller bought and sold by Karyn Cunningham for sexual favors. Apparently, it's crazy. That's what I heard anyway. I can't substantiate it because I wasn't in the bedroom. But knowing Karyn Cunningham, I have no doubt in my mind that the way she pays people off is by sleeping with them. Anyway, that's just the way life is. You know, you pick them. You win, you lose, and you move on. But the fact of the matter is, she's got no morals, no integrity. You can tell by the money, who's people that have paid money into her or funding her campaign, right? You can tell by the fact that she backs Steve Cody, who's the biggest scumbag in Palmetto Bay. Water. Wow. I forgot my cup today. Anyway, so let's go through though. Okay, so now that we're done with all that BS. And I promise everybody, next week, we will get to the town of Cutler Bay's budget versus Palmetto Bay's budget, because they actually know, Cutler Bay actually knows, okay, how to have a budget. 31 employees versus 66 employees, town's twice the size. Yeah, they do some outsourcing, but we're going to go through their budget and compare it and contrast. Anyway, I went through the budget again, and I'm telling you right now, I can cut out at least Kevin, I cannot repeat that. I can't repeat that.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
But apparently Grant Miller was really, if he did sleep with her, he's a really desperate guy. Anyway, so
you're talking about comparing the Cutler Bay and
I'm going to compare the Village of Palmetto Bay's budget versus Cutler Bay, which is twice our size. Compare the 31 employees versus 66 employees. Okay, so if Gina's there,
yes.
My friend Gina, can we start throwing up some budget information on the screen? I guess not. Oh, there we go. No, I need the first page. Okay, that's the first page. Okay, so this is really interesting, folks. And if anybody wants this, I can mail it. I can actually mail it to them. By the way, after I got the budget from the town of Cutler Bay, Karyn Cunningham actually called the village manager to complain that he gave me the budget. Can you imagine? This is a woman who's a mayor of Palmetto Bay calling up to complain to Ralph, who happens to be the village manager of the town of Cutler Bay, to complain that I got the budget. Like, I'm supposed to be locked out of a budget. Yeah, by the way, the sweater looks better than that ugly shirt.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what? This is my favorite tie-dye.
Yeah, you should lose it. Okay, so look, we jumped into the financials of, actually the audited financials of the Village of Palmetto Bay, and found some interesting things. Capital assets under Karyn Cunningham have actually decreased by $1 million, which is absolutely amazing, right? So it went from 58,800,000 to 57,900,000. Okay, a little bit under $1 million. Okay, current assets went up, but the only reason current assets went up instead of down was because we got $5 million from United States government. So basically, the United States government bailed us out. So our cash flow, our current assets would not go down. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, no, we got to go back to the first page, so everybody knows I'm not lying. Because I always hear people say, "Oh, Singer, you're lying. You're making stuff up." No, it doesn't work that way, boys and girls. If you want anything I say on this program, if you want backup, just email me and I will get you every piece of backup that I have. I would not mention anything, okay, that is not true without saying it's not. It's a rumor. Oh, by the way, Karyn Cunningham sleeping with Grant Miller is a rumor. It's been substantiated by one of Karyn Cunningham's friends, but it's a rumor. So anyway, so we Palmetto Bay's has serious decline, if not for the federal bailout, and bodes poorly for the future. So once again, we were talking about it last week. If the federal government wasn't helping Palmetto Bay out, we'd really be in a lot of trouble. The village government activities net position increased by a total of $1 million during the current fiscal year. Current assets increased $5,286,000 compared to prior year, mainly due to receipt of the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds in the amount of $6 million. Capital assets decreased $777,000 due to depreciation. Deferred outflows decreased $3,000. Blah 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 blah. You all aren't going to really understand it or be interested in it. But the fact of the matter is, we're blowing through money under Karyn left and right. Okay, so litigation. We looked at litigation. Lawsuits are up. Anybody who doesn't think lawsuits are up is crazy. We have 3, potentially 4 lawsuits that are going to be really hurting the Village of Palmetto Bay in the near future. Litigation, the budget for litigation, or the cost of litigation has, I think, doubled since Karyn's taken office. I had a chart, but I don't have the chart with me. Deficit fund balance. Okay. And but once again, these are all that you can go to the next page. These are all off. Nope. That's go back. It starts with note 9. These are from the audited financial statements. We are, as of September 30th, 2021, the building fund has a deficit of the building. It says fund. It's not fund. It's a building department has a fund of $537,000, and we have to take from the general fund. Okay, to transfer money to the general fund, from the general fund to the building fund that supports the building department. $537,000. That $530,000 is supposed to be used on parks, police, and other quality of life at Palmetto Bay. But instead, we're paying off the building department, which is a real issue, boys and girls, because who's supposed to be paying for that building fund is through development in the Village of Palmetto Bay, and they're going through, and they have if they're losing $537,000 every year, we should be letting people go, not keeping them. Note to the village manager: look at your building department, and if you're losing $537,000 a year, you are overstaffed. That's $500,000 a year. If I was running a business that was losing $537,000 a year, I would let go some of my staff.
Either that or go bankrupt.
Or go bankrupt. That's right. No, can you imagine? So the $537,000 should be going to police or parks or something, and instead we're throwing it into the building department. Translation, because of the policies they have created, they will either have to outsource the department, and rumors are persistent that they will or continue to subsidize developers. Basically, that's what we're doing. If we're not getting enough fees to run the building department, we're subsidizing developers out of our general fund, which is, once again, is supposed to go to what? It's supposed to go to police, it's supposed to go to parks, and that type of thing. This is another note. Look at the net worth growth in Karyn's term. If not for the federal bailout, we'd be losing our net worth rapidly. We cannot afford this type of negative value. Okay, so let's talk about debt. Debt last year was 20%. It was $5,455,000. Debt in 21 was $7,223,000. So the debt basically, at 63%. By the way, once you hit 100%, you can't borrow any more money. So we're at 63%. Never in the history of Palmetto Bay have we ever been at 63% of the total general fund revenues. So in other words, the $7 million is 63% of all income coming into the Village of Palmetto Bay. How crazy is that? You couldn't run a household on that. Cody knows that. Cody's debt to income is probably 1,000% because he doesn't have any money because he lost his law license. Anyway, that's why he's going to be homeless. So $7,223,000 is our debt. 63% of the money that's coming in to the Village of Palmetto Bay. And I got to tell you, once you hit 100%, you can't borrow any more money. You just can't do it. Look at the amount of debt and how it's escalated in the last year and rapidly reaching the maximum allowed. Not only is she reducing our net worth, but she's also borrowing at an extraordinary rate. Okay, next. Police increased $24,000. I mean, $24,000. What am I doing? 24%. The police budget increased 24% with no new officers added. 24% with no new officers added. Do you know why?
That's just like,
I'm going to tell you why.
oh,
If you're wondering why, I'm going to tell you why. You ready?
okay, let's hear it.
We went from $400,000 annually to $850,000 in overtime. They are budgeting $850,000 in overtime. Do you know what I could do with that $850,000 instead of paying police overtime? I could order I could sit there and hire 4 more officers. An officer usually makes about $140,000 a year. We have now sat there and said, okay, we're not gonna hire those 4 officers. What we're gonna do is pay our present officers overtime and eat up $850,000. Officers on overtime get paid 150%. So we're making our officers rich, but our village poor and unsafe.
Are the officers even going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, that's if you're playing by pages, it's the next page, Gina. So we're paying overtime to officers when we could be just hiring new officers.
Wow.
I mean, it's called bad management. $850,000, almost $1 million in overtime for officers. We could hire 4 more officers and reduce the budget. It's crazy. We could hire 2 officers and reduce the budget. When you consider on the average police officer makes about $140,000 with benefits, and we could easily add officers to reduce taxes that they are collecting, couldn't they? Okay. Aside, if you looked at Cutler Bay's police budget, they're twice the size of us. They only put $500,000 into their overtime. Wow. It's crazy, right?
And
who is watching what's going on?
And how is the crime in Cutler Bay? Is that any bad?
I don't know. I don't know what the crime is in Cutler Bay. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I know if you're twice the size of Palmetto Bay and you only have $500,000 in overtime, that means that Palmetto Bay's overtime should be $250,000, not $850,000. Okay, here we go. And I'm sorry if I'm boring people because I think I'm losing people, but that's okay. Keep watching. It's a great show. And one day we'll get done with this and we'll talk about real things. Not that this isn't real. That's right. This is important. But I'd like to have guests. Next week I probably won't have a guest because I'll go in through Cutler Bay's budget versus Palmetto Bay's budget to see how poorly Palmetto Bay is doing. The land that I told you that we didn't own, that we're maintaining, $5,000 to $6,000 a year. We don't own the Veterans Park, but we're paying $5,000 to $6,000 a year.
To who?
I don't know. I think we're mowing it. I wish one of my neighbors would sit there. I have to pay. What do I pay? $300 a month? No, probably about $300 a month. Will one of my neighbors in my neighborhood please mow my yard so I don't have to pay $300 a month? Do you think I can get one of them too? Meanwhile, we're paying $6,000 a year for, I mean, it's not a lot of money, right? But just think about the theory behind it. I'm going to mow your yard, okay? I'm going to mow your yard. I don't own your yard, but I'm going to mow it for $6,000 a year. I mean, it's bad management, right? Somebody's not keeping the eye on the ball. Let's see. Okay, here's another one. We pay $175,000 for tennis coaches at Cutler at Car Reef Park. $175,000, and we don't even competitively bid it out. $175,000 right out of your budget, folks. $175,000 goes to the tennis pro at Car Reef Park. I don't know, without competitive bidding. I bet you the tennis coach is a friend of Karyn Cunningham's. $175,000. I wonder if she or he or whoever it is actually contributed to her campaign. I can't make this stuff up, boys and girls. Here she said there was no maintenance budget. There is a maintenance budget, and a matter of fact, it says major maintenance work completed and reduced for normal maintenance. Let me tell you something. I walked around Palmetto Bay, Cutler Reef Park the other day, and there's serious maintenance issues.
You're
But they
talking
said,
about,
but on this
Coral Reef Park.
Coral Reef Park, what did I say?
You said Cutler Reef.
Oh God, you know what? That's what happens. I'm going nuts. This stuff makes me nuts. Coral Reef Park, thank you. Coral Reef Park. But the note says, and this came from their audit, it said major maintenance work completed, reduced for more normal maintenance. Not only do we have a maintenance reserve, which she said, another lie, she said we don't have a maintenance reserve, but it says right here that we don't need any long-term maintenance. So which is it, Karyn? Do we need a maintenance fund, or is our maintenance, our major maintenance work completed? It's one or the other. You can't say we don't have a fund, which we do, and then say, oh, but the major maintenance work is completed. And if you walk around Palmetto, how would I keep doing that? Coral Reef Park.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you walk around Coral Reef Park, you know that there's a lot of maintenance to be done. Not that they care, because they're paying $850,000 for overtime and police officers. They're also maintaining. They should take that $5,000 that they're doing the landscaping work at Veterans Park that we don't own, okay, and use that to pay for some more maintenance at Coral Reef Park.
Wow.
Anyway, here's some graphs. Escalating costs out of control. In 3 years, the village attorney, John Del Gloria, has gone from $164,000 per year to $453,000 per year for the upcoming year. Okay, it's how much is that? That's about 300% increase for John Del Gloria. That's not John Del Gloria's fault. You know whose fault that is? The council's fault for having all these lawsuits come in, because they won't negotiate with anybody. They won't talk to anybody. They just say, hey, we're the village of Palmetto Bay. We're the big guys, right? That got them very far with Dade County. So anyway, the Dade County who hates Karyn Cunningham and hates the council like poison. It went from $164,000 to $453,000.
Wow.
Okay, last departments that have increased, and I'm going to let everybody go really soon. The clerk's office went from, and I think this is actually the clerk's office chart, went from $192,000 to $380,000 in 4 years. 192 to 380, over 100% increase. The last one, let's see. Oh no, that's actually, you know what? That's actually not chart. Sorry guys. Sorry boys and girls. Last two departments looking at increase to close to 600,000. Karyn took over. I got to tell you something. PR in our village of Palmetto Bay, and I need to find it because it's on here. I found it. Went from like $250,000 to $600,000. Oh, here it is. Hi. It says communications is forecast to increase 21%, but has increased from $346,000 to $710,000 in 3 years. That's so Karyn can take selfies and do all this BS that she's been doing with taxpayer dollars. $750,000, folks. It went from $346,000 to $710,000 in 3 years and that's the communications department. Oh, here's something else. Planning department is being subsidized by general funds too, and are projected to lose $440,000 next year. I mean, all these. If you had somebody of fiscal responsibility on the council, they would catch all this, right? I mean, somebody who knew what they were doing. The council doesn't know what they were doing. Know what they're doing. I mean, if you've met Patrick, the guy can't even recite the alphabet. Okay, much less add 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Karyn Cunningham, she's got no clue.
I mean,
and Cody doesn't know how to keep a checkbook. If he did, his house wouldn't be in foreclosure.
Even if you are elected to the council and you don't know anything about finance, wouldn't you think it's smart, right? That since you're in that position of
you have to learn it and to study it. Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I mean, not only learn it and study it, but maybe like get a tutor or something like that.
I don't know. These people are oblivious. I mean, the problem is that this village is not run right. I mean, that's just the way it is. Let's take a couple of. I got a couple of minutes, so let's see if anybody else has put any questions on here. If you got any questions, let me know. If you guys want any of this backup, please let me know. I'm more than happy to send you the backup because I don't make this stuff up, folks. This is real. This is from audits, from budgets, from Dade County websites. I mean, no, I actually think Kamala Harris is pretty good looking. Thanks. Anyway, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Folks, you got to figure out whether you want somebody, once again, who enjoys just taking pictures and having parties, or somebody who's running the village into a hole. Somebody who has absolutely zero morals, zero character, unless she's sitting there, blowing smoke. And that's the problem with her. Okay, she'll sit there and she'll be your buddy and everything. But I got to tell you something, and I'm not a sexist by any means. If a guy did what she did, it would be all over the newspapers. I really believe that. And women don't lie. I'm sorry, AlJohn. Women don't lie. And punching your sister when she's pregnant, or even punching your sister when she's pregnant, is not acceptable in today's day and age. And it wasn't acceptable. It wasn't acceptable 10 years ago. And I had two sisters, and my dad told me that if I ever lifted a hand, okay, to one of my sisters, that he would kick my ass. And I never hit my sisters. We might have gotten into fights when we were 5 and 6 years old or whatever, but I never, as an adult, and he was 21 or 22 years old, as an adult, I never hit my sisters.
I can't even imagine,
okay, and a pregnant sister at that. Hey, by the way, your camera is crooked. Anyway, next week we're going to go through. And I'm going to try to get Pinecrest budget too, just to make everything equal. We're going to go we're definitely going to go Cutler Bay's budget compared to Village Palmetto Bay's budget, and we will try to get Pinecrest budget. So it's going to be all me by myself next week going through budgets. I'm sorry if numbers bore you, because I know lots of people who are bored by budget numbers, but the community has to know what's going on. Honestly, they just have to know what's going on in all aspects of Palmetto Bay. Anyway, thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching. Don't forget, Karyn Cunningham has never voted for a development in Palmetto Bay. Ha ha ha, lie. She's pro-development. She's pro-taxes. God knows what else she's pro. She's pro, whatever.
Pro shadow funds.
pro taking dark money. There you go. I knew there were three in there. Pro taking money from PACs, pro taking money from unions. She loves dark money, boys and girls. And this is not somebody we need in Palmetto Bay. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week at 4 o'clock. Please share. I'd really appreciate it if you share this video. I don't make any money out of it, but residents need to know. So thanks. Stay healthy. Peace out.